Now, for more on Taiwan's election, we're joined by NHK World's Okutani Ryuta. He previously served as chief correspondent in Beijing. Good to have you here, Ryuta. So China's foreign minister brushed off the result by saying reunification with Taiwan will proceed regardless. How do you think those words will translate into action?
Yes, I think China will continue to threaten Taiwan through military drills and other forms of pressure. The Chinese government said after the election that the ruling DPP cannot represent mainstream public opinion. Leaders in China are not hiding their disdain for the president-elect. They call him a dangerous separatist, and they even likened the election to a choice between war and peace. But in the end, the Taiwanese people chose life. And some observers say Beijing may try to seek vengeance. How? Perhaps we should expect more threats, larger military drills with boats and aircraft drawing close. The moves of other nations may also be telling. As we just saw, Pacific nation Nauru says it will sever ties with Taiwan. Yes, and the timing is surely no coincidence. There are now just 12 countries left with formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan. And Taiwan. But ultimately, we should have a much better idea of China's intentions from May. That's when Lai delivers his inauguration speech. And any policies on Taiwan will likely be ironed out from there.
Ryuta, on the other hand, though, the United States wasted no time in sending an unofficial delegation to Taipei after the result. Can you tell us what's behind this?
Well, Washington wants to maintain the status quo in Taiwan, and that means stopping China's anger from boiling over. I think the delegation may urge Lai to exercise caution, for example, by not using words that cross Beijing's red line. In fact, even the U.S. president himself said on Saturday, we do not support independence.
And one day before the election, the U.S. invited a senior Chinese Communist Party member to Washington for talks with officials, including the Secretary of State. I mean, this is good. They're still talking, right?
I would say so, yes. It's believed that the U.S. side urged China not to respond to the election result with military pressure. And China is believed to have warned the U.S. to refrain from any words or deeds that could empower those in Taiwan who aspire for independence. Actually, a dialogue like that may be more for economic reasons than security. China has an advantage in terms of market size and natural resources such as rare metals, and Taiwan is a powerhouse in semiconductors. If relations worsen, the global economy could be thrown into chaos.
And still, Ryuta, many people will be wondering if the election result has increased the chances of a contingency in Taiwan. What do you see happening in the long term?
Well, it's hard to say, but what I can say is that the Chinese Communist Party would not consider the status quo as advantageous. That's because more and more people in Taiwan think of themselves as Taiwanese, not Chinese. So CCP officials fear Taiwan is edging towards independence. Secondly, Aki, the CCP's priorities have changed due to an over-concentration of power in the leadership of President Xi Jinping. China has focused on economic growth for like 40 years, but the administration of President Xi now places just as much importance, or even more, on national security. And it's fair to say that includes unification with Taiwan. President Xi has grown extremely powerful, and he increasingly needs to be seen as a great leader, a man to admire. Taiwan and China have, of course, had their ups and downs over the years, but some experts say the true crossroads may come in 2027. That's when the Chinese military marks its 100th anniversary.
Thank you for your insight, Ryuta.
My pleasure.